Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorials, we continue looking on Filter Forge editor and we look on gradients option. First, if you look on those components, we have it three color gradients. So let's put it on our workspace. In 3D three color gradients, we have it input, which is green for the map. It's color 1, color 2, and color 3. You notice you can, on your left side, we can go click and set up colors we want for this gradient. Also on these colors, it's accept any additional type more, so we can create another gradient and connect to this point. Okay, let's go ahead. Example, just rotate so we can preview, and you can see this image right here. We have it on this portion where we have it gradient. We're using map type of the colors they passed in, so you can specify connecting the image or connect other gradients or other options for this color, or if you want it, you can just go ahead and use any solid color that you prefer. This apply for color 1, color 2, and color 3. Also, other options we have it's a position. As well, we can modify and adjust position for each of one of three gradients by using slider, or you can notice right here we can connect to this by the parameter by using slider. So we have it any other controller, we can go ahead and connect this way and allow this way for user to control position, or it can be driven by any other options on the position. For example, if using any fractal or any possible noise. So as well. Okay, let's go ahead. We have it also positioned for color 1, color 2, and color 3. We also have it options to rotate. This will take our gradient and rotate in 45 degrees. You can notice 90 degrees, sorry. As well, we have it another options. It's called repeat. Repeat will specify how many times the gradient will repeat it inside our output. Also keep in mind that overall actual number of repetition with output image will be affected by global parameter size of the image and its dimension. Okay, and also other options we have it is transitions. This is determined between how the color will blend together, and this is controlled by the curves. So as example, we can take a curve connecting, and you can notice right here now we have it all these steps which corresponding to our curve. It's in a way how the our gradient will blend together. One thing also I want to mention about rotate in this case. So let's go to have it control. We can use it control rotate through our slider, and if you notice right here, it does not have it some rotation appear for the 90 degrees. So even you can put it 73, it's given us warning, and it still be rotating by only 90 degrees. So just kind of keep this in mind. Even you connect slider to the rotation, be sure your slider is kind of set with the properly values. Okay, so let's go ahead and set right here, for example, using special rotation. And again, you can notice our even with rotation we still rotate only by 90 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead, clean up. And then next what I want to look it is we'll go back in gradients and we'll look on a 5 color gradient. This will act in same way as a 3 color, only now we have 5 different options or 5 different input color nodes. Otherwise it will act in exactly the same. We have positions that will represent for each different of the color or input map input node. Okay, we also have it as well rotation, which is preferred by 90 degrees, and as well as repetition. Also, we have a type of the transition that be controlled from drop down, or same things if you're going and control externally by curves or any other input value. Okay, next we have it our elevation gradient, which in some case think about as elevation map. So it will require two inputs, elevation and gradient. So let's go ahead and take one of the noise. For example, take which is will represent elevations for us. We'll go connect this way. And next, we need connect some color. So we'll just take the three colors and we connect to the gradient. So right here, you can notice now with our elevation gradient, we control it input by one height kind of altitude and also color distribution by another gradient. If you want, you can use, of course, 5 color for this, which is add a little bit more variety. As well, elevation can be driven by your image or by the noise or any other input. It does accept the mapped input as well for the gradient. We do have two other options, flip, which is actually creating kind of negative or positive effect, and repeat as well. This is will apply, you will notice, repetition to our gradient within elevation range. So it's kind of, it's not just repeating images, repeating within elevation, how many times the gradient will repeat it inside there. Okay, the elevation in a gradient input will also accept the HDRI input for this type of the gradient. Okay, so sometimes you may be needed to set gradient that is does not going on a 90 degrees or 180. For this purpose, you want to use the free gradient. And right here, you will notice we have the same two input, color 1 and color 2, which as well you can select from the color box, or you can connect from another nodes. Example, we can go even connect different type color to this way. Okay, the most unique things what we have it in this case, it is start X, Y position and end X and Y position. So in other cases, we can also create in a way how our gradient will distribute in our parent. So let's go back right here. An example, we can set 0, 0 from this point right here, and we can set 0, 1. So in this case, we have it all the way dark and going down, degrading this way, or 0.5. So you can see in a way how you can distribute it with a little bit angles or adjustment as well. So with different numbers. You'll notice your X, Y, and X and Y, they will accept the mapped type input. So your mapped component can be controlled the even position. On this case, you can use it external image by controlling positions, or you can use it on other gradients if you need it to control the start and end position for your gradients. This is way you can provide high flexibility. All these inputs will also accept HDRI type image. Okay. Next, we have the type, and this is control input that will specify the type of the gradient. And we have options, have linear, radial, or angular. So in this case, you can see we have it going like radial. We can have it angular, or what we saw before, is just simple linear type. We also have a type of the continuation, and this is specify one of the 4 models that we have it. We have it a flat. We also have it repeated. When it's reached 0, it starts repeating from beginning. We also have it mirrored. that will reach edge and mirror it next. And also we have it relative repeat. With relative repeat, the method, the brightness will continue to rise beyond the white endpoint as well as fall beyond the black point. So it's kind of mostly it will use probably for HDRI type of the image. We also have a type of profile, and it's similar to other gradients where you can specify in a way the colors will start blending between each other. So let's go ahead and check. Next, we have a noise gradient. The noise gradient will produce a random parent of the colors in a linear, and it's based on a base color. Okay, so we can select one, but all these offsets of the different color we can control by H, L, or S range. So by controlling and adjusting them, you can specify what range you want it for your random and what range or how wide range for the colors you want to use it. Okay, we also have an option for a rough, and the roughness also accept the wide range. But before I'm going to just a little bit more about H range. This is will narrow or widest range of the hue that you use it in our selected gradient. Okay, the middle point of the hue range is determined by the hue of the base color we have. L range will narrow or widen the lightness range of our garden. So you can see how much some options become a little bit lighter. And our S range, it's work with saturations range for the gradient. So right in some areas, and sometimes if you little bit decreasing, we can see a little bit better effect on the saturations happening there. Okay, so roughness, define the roughness of the noise in the gradients is based upon technical roughness preset. So right here you can see we have more kind of roughness to our gradient or less if we're going towards 0. The contrast will preset adjust contrast of the noise gradient, and this is a algorithm is the same algorithm as the normal and brightness and contrast settings. We also have options for the scale, which adjusts gradient scale, and the resulting scale will be also affecting this by global parameters as well. And it's kind of notice right here, so our image is 300 pixels, and you can notice we can scale down based on this. So if our image was 600 pixels, that will scale will adjust according to the global settings as well. Vertical options is a checkbox, and when it's turned, the gradient going in a vertical direction. Otherwise, it's in horizontal. So you can apply it and modify it. Okay, we have it also details options. And details define the complexity of the noise that using for our algorithm. So let me decrease. We're going to have increased roughness. And right here, it's actually, you can see changing it is defined how complex it is for our noise. Again, in some cases, it's maybe look like it's almost duplicating some of the options, and actually it's work more with algorithms on a lower math kind of function with that. We also have another options. It's a variations, and this is just reset our random seed. So it's kind of help you to randomize a little bit more how to create this noise random seed for our noise. Okay, we also have a checkbox that called randomizing, and it's control input. When it's turned on right here, The global variation parameter will be affecting the image generating by the component, and when it's turned off, the global variation won't have any effect on our image. So it's kind of look how you want to link to the global variations or not. Okay, so right here it's our noise gradient, and actually one more thing, so you'll notice the gray again, this is controllable, and this is image input that can be controlled by another gradient or another image or any other mapped input. Okay, now let's go check our profile gradient. So, and this is a gradient that will accept colors. It can accept HDRI as well. It can output HDRI type map input. And the profile gradient is component that generated gradient defined by these two colors. So we can control them directly, or we can link them to another gradient or another image. Okay. Transition between the colors is determined as before with a profile curve. So we can select a different one, or we can go ahead and link and predefine something else. Okay, this is a map component, and can be located as a component bar, and the profile gradient is a actually discrete type of component. Any filter that uses it, it automatically will be classified as discrete. And how I said before, this is very useful when you start working with kind of HDRI image and HDRI pass through, and mostly was using some filters when I can set and control some kind of transitional gradients from image that I'm input into and sometimes blend with my other image. Okay, this is just some use for this. Okay, we also have options right here that is called offset. Offsets, it will shift our gradient, and you can see we can kind of shift horizontally. As well, we have options, same like before, rotate, which is rotate in 90 degrees our gradient. Repetition will increase and decrease at scale. It also depend on a global size of the image. We also have options of mirroring, so it will mirror our the gradient. And we'll look before on the profiles that can be controlled internally or link with some other external the curve. Okay, and our last, it's called spectrum. Spectrum, it's very already predefined colors, you notice, and we have it simplistic the rainbow color going. Only options that we can specify, it is rotate for our in 90 degrees turns, and also we can set the repetition that is also based on global settings for the image size. So this is only two options we have it for our spectrum, and in some cases you can reuse this as a feed through kind of rainbow colors to the another maybe input node. Okay, this is all for our gradients. Next, what we're going to look it is on noise components.